I'm here in Cotonou at the headquarters of the AfricaRice Center. We're in the very early stages of implementing the new Global Rice Science Partnership, or GRiSP, the first of the new consortium CGR research programs that was launched officially a few months ago. And the vision that we have in GRiSP is to, for the first time, really streamline all of the major international rice research activities into a coherent framework that will therefore allow us to do things on a global scale more effectively, more efficiently, and with a very wide range of partners. In GRiSP we have at this point in time about 900 different research and development partners involved, about half of them actively engaged in research and the other half more on the development side, and they represent all sectors of the research and development continuum, from the governments all the way down to universities, private sector and NGOs. And what we're hoping to do is, by working more effectively in a more coherent manner, to develop new information and products for rice farmers worldwide, including those in Africa. So it is an exciting opportunity. We have the opportunity to have big impact if the investments that we're projecting and that we're hoping to raise for this GRiSP can be materialized, and if we can find ways to really effectively get it implemented. That will require that institutions that previously have worked more on their own or had their own strategy find ways to come together and have combined joint strategies. And that is particularly important for Africa, where rice is an emerging, very important crop, and where many things need to be done to really develop the rice sector.
Thank you. As Achim is saying, in Africa we're facing a huge challenge. Currently the continent is importing 10 million tons of rice per year, which costs a tremendous amount of money. We are confident that we can produce rice in Africa, but it will require a lot of investment, time, bringing the right people together and make sure that the rice technologies that we have and that we are developing will reach the beneficiaries. And there's so much work that Africa can really use all the hands that are there to make this work. If you look at the national research capacity in Africa, we are in a, I would say, even desperate state. If you look at the number of rice breeders that we have in Africa, you can count them on the fingers of two hands maybe. What we really need is, and what we have now, is a coherent research strategy for the continent, where all players that are there work hand in hand and be very effective in developing technologies for the different rice ecosystems that are there, and also build capacity again in the national systems. And what we now have, the GRiSP, Global Rice Science Partnership document, is a work plan, if you like, for the next 5 years, where we clearly identify what needs to be done across the globe and of course in Africa as well. And what we did today with Achim here in Cotonou at the AfricaRice Center is to even think further ahead. So beyond that 5-year plan that we have now, what in the next 10 years, if you like, is our vision for Africa, and how can we ensure that we reach as many farmers and rice consumers as possible in the continent. AfricaRice has 5 research stations in the continent, one shared with IRRI in Tanzania. We think that that is a start. There are still huge gaps on the map in Africa where we are not really active enough, although we are working in 34 countries already, of which 24 are member states, but much more needs to be done still. So we had a very good strategic discussion here today, where we think of developing a strategy for rice research and development for Africa. IRRI, AfricaRice, the NARS and other key players will work that out in further detail this year, and I'm quite confident by the end of 2011 we will have a strategy for rice research in Africa, research for impact for the next 10 years. That is basically what we discussed today, other than more operational issues related with implementing GRiSP right now.